Hello and welcome back to our channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Click on the notification bell so you'll know when we upload new content. Follow us on social media, Facebook Imania by Design and Instagram Imania by Design. Make sure if you haven't done so already to check out our Etsy shop. Follow us on Etsy at Imania by Design or visit our online store, emaniabydesign.com. Today we are going to make the most delicious, moist banana bread. It's my own recipe that I put together. It's a family favorite, and I'm so excited to be able to share it with you. This Christmas, it that is what I did. I made banana breads and I made pralines and I gave them out and they were definitely a family favorite. So get your things together and let's make banana bread. So I will leave a link to the full ingredient list and directions below so that you'll have everything that you need. But what you're going to do is you're going to start off with 1.5 cups of very ripe bananas. You're going to use 3 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour, 1.5 tablespoons or teaspoons of baking soda, quarter teaspoon of salt. You're going to use 3/4 cup of softened butter, uh, sugar, granulated sugar, um, and extra large eggs, pure vanilla extract, ground cinnamon. You're going to use low fat buttermilk, and you're also going to use full fat sour cream. And this is not pictured, but you are going to, if you want to add nuts, you're going to add um, a cup of chopped walnuts, and that is optional. So, what I'm doing here is I'm smashing up the bananas. And you want to smash the bananas well, but you don't want to over smash them because they'll turn runny, and that's not what you want. You just want to mash. And you're going to add um, to a bowl, you're going to add 3 cups of all purpose flour and 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, a quarter teaspoon of salt, and you're just going to mix that up really well. I use a whisk. You can use a fork, you can use a spoon, whatever you'd like. You're going to mix that up really good, and then you're going to set that to the side. I added my cinnamon later, but if you want to add it at that point, you certainly can. And now I'm measuring out 3/4 cup of softened salted butter, not margarine. That equals about 1.5 sticks of butter. And then granulated sugar, you're going to use 2.25 to 2.5 cups of granulated sugar, depending on how sweet you like your banana bread. And what I'm doing is adding the 3 eggs, but I'm adding them one by one. So I add an egg and then cream that together with the butter and sugar. Okay, I've scraped the sides down and then adding another egg. I'm going to cream that together really good. And if you want, you can whisk together your 3 eggs and then just pour in a little bit at a time. If you want to do it like that, you can certainly do that. And I'm adding my last egg here. And then I'm gonna continue to cream all that together. Now, I used extra large eggs, but you can use large eggs. Large eggs will work just as well. And here I'm adding the teaspoons of vanilla, and then I'm mixing that all together. And oh my goodness, this smells so delicious. Now, in another bowl, I am taking the buttermilk and the sour cream, and I'm whisking that together really good. And that's 1 cup of low-fat buttermilk and a half a cup of full-fat sour cream. Now, what you're going to do is we're going to add the dry ingredients. This is to our butter, sugar, and eggs, but you're going to add a little bit at a time and mix it in. And then you're going to add a little of the buttermilk sour cream. And you're just going to alternate so that everything is mixed in really smooth. And add a little bit more of the dry ingredients. If you have one of the large KitchenAid mixers, easier to handle than a hand mixer. But if you don't have one, as you can see, a hand mixer gets the job done. All right. I added the cinnamon here, but again, if you'd like to add the cinnamon in with the dry ingredients at the beginning, you can certainly do that. Okay, got that all mixed together, and it just keeps getting better. Smells delicious. Now we're going to take those smashed bananas that we set to the side. We're going to add those, and we are not going to use the mixer. We are going to use that spatula and just fold the smashed bananas in carefully. You don't want to overmix on this part. You just want to kind of keep the integrity of the banana mash here. And so we're just folding. And um, if you are making a net bread, then this is the point that you'll be adding your chopped walnuts. And that's 1 cup of chopped walnuts. And again, we're just gently folding these last ingredients. Smells absolutely amazing. Now we're going to take our loaf pan. These loaf pans are just your standard 9 inch by 5 inch loaf pan. And using this Baker's Joy, which I love because you don't have to separately grease and flour the pan. And this works very well. I've never had anything to stick using Baker's Joy. And we're going to add about half of this mixture uh, to the pan. Then we're going to add the remaining half to the other pan. Now here I can see that I added um, more to the first one than the second one. So I'm going to scoop out a little bit of the batter, and I'm being very careful not to scoop all the way to the bottom because I don't uh, want to disturb the baker's joy at the bottom of the loaf pan. So I'm making sure that I just scoop from the top only. And that's looking pretty even. And I have already preheated my oven to 300 degrees. And I baked for 1 hour. And now I am testing to make sure that it's done. Now, in your oven, because of different calibrations and difference between gas and electric and things like that, um, just in case yours is not done after 1 hour, what you'll want to do is to go ahead and after you test, if you still see that the batter is not done, is sticking to either the knife or a toothpick, you can use a toothpick. Um, then make sure you put it back in the oven and just try maybe 10 minutes more and then take it back out and test it. And you're just going to want to do it in small increments of time because it shouldn't take that much longer than an hour to be completely done. All right, here I am going to be putting these loaves on this wire rack, and I'm trying to do it without burning myself. And my 2-year-old grandson was talking to me at the time, so I was a little bit distracted. So it took me a while to get those uh, loaves on that wire rack. But look how perfectly they come out with that baker's joy. Just perfect. And that's what you want it to look like. And I'm gonna be turning these loaves over because I didn't want that wire rack imprint on the top of the loaf. And that's just for aesthetics. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, change the way it tastes at all. So I turned the loaves over and they have turned out just beautifully. So I'm going to let them cool for 5 to 10 minutes, and you'll see that I have transferred this to a um, cooking sheet with lined with parchment paper. I'm just going to go ahead and slice some. Hubby is waiting for a slice, and I want to slice. The house smells delicious. Grandson wants a slice, so gonna slice it up, and it's still nice and warm. And that walnut over there won't let me be great, and and uh, slice a good clean slice, but that's okay because we're gonna gobble that up. And so it's nice and moist, as you can see. Yep, I did. I did it. I took that little corner and I ate it because this is my piece. Nice and moist. You can see those walnuts going through there. Oh, it was so good. I had to get that other piece right on camera. And to keep the moisture in, while it's still warm, you want to go ahead and wrap it tight with plastic wrap, and it will keep nice and moist. I promise you, it's going to be so good. Now, this is, I put it in the refrigerator to completely cool it. Um, and these slices, as you can see, they slice really nice when they're cold. And so this one's still cold, but what we like to do is we like to put that in the microwave and warm it up for about 10 seconds or so, slather it with a little butter or top it with a little whipped topping. Delicious. Subscribe to our channel, click on the notification bell so you won't miss new uploads. Visit us on Etsy and follow us on social media or visit our online store, imaniabydesign.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.